Hi everyone, I'm Mike Todd and welcome to Toddy Tackles. This week we've been asked to fix a very common problem with a toilet where the water flowing into the cistern won't shut off and overflows into the toilet bowl. This is a common problem and there are two options available to fix it, and I thought I'd video it this week and show you what they are. If you lift the lid of the cistern off, you can see that the ball valve is not shutting off the water flowing into the cistern. First job is to turn the water off. We're lucky we've got an isolation valve right next to the cistern. Flush the toilet and check that no new water is coming into the cistern. It's really important to check that that service valve is working correctly, because sometimes they don't completely close off. Next, with a pair of adjustable grips, loosen the main lock nut on the ball valve and take the ball valve out. In this case, the ball valve is connected to the main plumbing by a 90-degree tap connector. Hold the body of the tap connector with one spanner to avoid disturbing the joint where it connects to the copper pipe, and with another spanner undo the nut where it connects to the ball valve. A bucket or towel underneath will catch any remaining water that remains in the pipe. Next, we remove the last part of the ball valve body, and to do that we get a pair of adjustable grips and undo the outside plastic lock nut. This is the old ball valve. As you can see, it's not too bad, but it's pretty grotty. These are the parts inside the ball valve, and a £4 service kit gives you all the parts you need to replace them. However, for about £6 you can buy a whole new ball valve like this one from Flowmaster, or for an extra couple of pounds a new float. I always use a new ball valve, and the first job is to assemble it, which simply consists of connecting the arm to the main valve body. Make sure it operates smoothly before fitting it to the system. Feed it through the hole and use the two pinch nuts to tighten it to the body of the system. I always set the water level to sit below the level of these two nuts. Although they are watertight, it means that no water can flow out through that joint. Lastly, tighten it up with the adjustable grips. Reconnect the tap connector, and it's important to tighten this joint carefully, as it's a metal to plastic connector and you don't want to strip the plastic thread. Again, hold the body of the tap connector to ensure that you don't disturb the joint where it connects to the copper pipe. You can see I'm using very gentle pressure on this spanner, as it's quite large and gives you lots of leverage, so it gently does it. I don't know why, but this is my favourite part. Screw the float onto the arm of the ball valve and make sure it doesn't bind on any part of the system. Gently turn the water back on and check the joint for any leaks. Once you're happy that the joint isn't leaking, you can increase the pressure of the flow into the system. Before it fills up, I always check a couple of times to make sure that the float will actually cut off the water supply. This one's working fine. This adjuster and lock nut determines how high the water level is in the system. The further out the adjuster, the lower the water level, and the nearer in the adjuster, the higher the water level. I'm just testing the adjusted ball valve to see where the water level will shut off, and I'll turn the water on to make sure it works. It's a compromise between using as little water as possible, which saves you money, whilst maintaining a good flush. Remember, when you've got the right level, tighten up the lock nut to ensure that it can't move. As you can see, the new ball valve cuts the water off at the right level, and as I mentioned before, the water level is below the two plastic nuts, so there's no chance of any water seeping out through that joint. With a dry finger, just check the joints to make sure there aren't any leaks. As you can see, I've got a little bit of water around this joint, so I need to tighten that joint gently. Support the body of the ball valve while you tighten this joint. Dry the joint off with a rag or some tissue paper, and then with a dry finger, make sure no water is seeping out. And that's it. It's a really simple job. It took me less than half an hour. The parts cost about £6. You don't need any expensive tools, and it saves you having to call out a plumber, which around here costs about £100. I really hope you found this video useful. Please add any comments or subscribe below. Remember, always wear your safety glasses in the workshop and look out for future videos of Toddy Tackles.